This week's Michigan Lottery Excellence in Education winner is Ryan Bark from L'Anse Creuse Diane M. Pellerin Center in Clinton Township. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We have a video from your nominator. Let's take a look.
I nominated Ryan because he truly cares about his students and wants to see them succeed. He teaches in a non-traditional high school setting, so he's able to bring his experience and tailor lessons for students of various backgrounds and abilities. He strives to really engage and relate with his students and offers a supportive, encouraging role on their educational journeys. Students often comment that he makes government and history actually fun to learn, which brings him so much joy. Ryan deserves to be recognized for all of his hard and heart work that he brings into his classroom. And as his wife, I'm very proud of him. Great job.
What went through your mind watching that video from your wife?
To be honest, it was a little bit surprising, but kind of a little emotional, actually.
Yeah.
It's something, bringing your work home to, your spouse and explaining what happened that day is, a part of everyday life. And to, hear her, not me in front of her explaining what she thinks about what I do and why it's important it's very humbling. It's very humbling.
Tell me why you're a teacher.
I'm a teacher because I always, when I was in high school, middle school, I always sat in class and tried to think about how I could do it better. Because it wasn't that I had bad teachers or anything like that. And in fact, they were the ones that challenged me. But I always thought there was something more I could do. There was something I could give because of the way I learned things. I wanted to express that to other people.
Wow. You started a club in your school called SAD, which is Students Against Destructive Decisions. Tell us about the club and the students that participate in it.
So SAD Club is what we call it, Students Against Destructive Decisions. What it was is being in a non-traditional high school, a lot of the students I have are at risk, have a lot of, not necessarily problems, but a lot of baggage that they bring with them. And not being at a normal high school, they don't necessarily feel like they belong. And by starting this club, it was a positive step that these students that I have can take to be a part of their education, be a part of their community, be a part of their school, and kind of feel like they're enough instead of, feel like they're kind of cast aside and not wanted.
Wow. In your opinion, what does being a teacher mean?
Being a teacher means making a difference. Making a difference every single day because you're a part of that child's life when they show up, whether it's through a routine or teaching them something new, making connections, or just, being a friend. That's what being a teacher is you're being somebody who listens. And oftentimes, especially today, you don't have enough people who want to listen and want to understand. They just, are another face in the crowd. And having a student feel belonged is very, very important, especially, in the setting that I teach in, because they maybe don't have a lot of support at home. They don't have, the environment that, a more traditional high school would have.
On that vein, I bet it's great to be back with the students.
Yes. Going through the epidemic made it very difficult because you had a lot of students who fell off to the side of the road. They fell through the cracks. They didn't value education because of so many other things going on in the world. Now having students back in the classroom and having that consistent routine, you're seeing, sometimes a lot more challenges are exposed because they were overlooked in the past, but you have to be more flexible and more understanding and more patient because it's not of any fault of their own. It was more of you have to, understand where they're coming from, where they were, and where they're going to be going, and you have to meet them somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and I bet you're proud of them when they accomplish.
My proudest moments are always every June when we have graduation. Students who come with very little credits, very little understanding of why they're in school, and it's just something they do every day, but never really buying into it. And when I get to graduation, you kind of look them in the eye and you see the smile and you see that they're enough. They've understood now why they come every day, why they learn these things, why they are important, why they matter. And that's just the greatest feeling you can ever have.
Fast forward 20 years, you run into a group of your students. What would you hope that they tell you about their experience in your classroom?
I think that it's hard, especially teaching high school, for students to understand, especially for instance, government class, understanding what I'm teaching them and why it's important, because they don't have the same responsibilities. They're living at home. They're not necessarily paying the bills. They're not paying the mortgage, and understanding that what I'm teaching them is important. Maybe it won't be tomorrow, maybe it won't be a year from now, but 10 years, 20 years down the road, understanding how government works and understanding, respecting one another's opinions and respecting the world we live in as citizens in a democracy, and knowing that that's what makes us unique. That's something that I want them to tell me, hey, I get it now. I understand what you were trying to tell me, and I'm going to tell my kids the same thing.
I love it. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Ryan receives a $1,500 check from the Michigan Lottery, and his class at L'Anse Creuse Diane M. Pellerin Center receives a $500 grant. Excellence in Education Awards, sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, providing more than $26 billion to public education since 1972.